Hi, I'm Johan Kreiner. I'm a clinical psychologist in Cape Town, South Africa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I would like to talk to you about which I need a lot of energy for, and it's going to sound very complicated and confusing at times as well, but bear with me. Hopefully, it will all make sense in the end. And that is the topic of abandonment sense. And we all experience rejection and abandonment. But what does it truly mean to have fear of abandonment and caught up in the milieu of abandonment and the control of it, almost like a drug that's controlling you? Abandonment is definitely not an easy topic to talk. It's not a diagnostic trait in a DSM manual. It's got multiple traits of multiple disorders. Um, but I feel that people have been asking me, please explain to me the model of abandonment. So I'm not going to talk to you about specific diagnostic criteria of a specific disorder, and I'm going to go through with you one, two, three, and four. I think I'm going to try and attempt to truly explain to you the core dynamic, what's happening with a person who is caught up in an abandonment sense. All right, so bear with me. It might sound confusing, but let's try nevertheless. All right. First of all, abandonment has two spectrums, right? It's people that are caught up in a split personality, not like a split personality that you think you have different personality type. What I mean with split personality, I mean like you have a reward system where you feel you need reward most of the time, and then you feel opposite extremely from it and you feel withdrawn. So suddenly you feel withdrawn, reward and withdrawn at the same time, and that can fluctuate between 0 to 100 very fast. And it's there where abandonment can get triggered. If we look at the reward system, what people seek from abandonment is that they view certain people as part of their life as being unique and special towards them. They seek people that are taking care of them, being fed, really adore them and taking them by their hands, really are obsessed with them in a way and feel that that person is controlled by them. It's really a reward system which is unhealthy, where they really feel the person is everything for them. How they view themselves in the reward category is feeling very helpful, feeling very good, feeling very well fed, feeling being taken care of, feeling grandiose, feeling special, feeling priority, feeling overall being taken care of as a whole, and being loved and being special. Those are a lot of tough traits to uphold all the time. Remember, this is not something that's just temporary. This is what they want to feel constantly. They want to constantly feel that reward, that they're being special all the time, most of the time, because they want to feel reward. They feel if they do not receive that, that the clinging part of it is at risk. If they feel that they're special and they're a priority and the person are really taking care of them and are there for them most of the time on their accord, they feel they can cling towards the person. It's like a mom that really cares about a child and the child can cling towards the mom and doesn't want to leave the mom. Let's take a shop for example. If the child is in a shop with a mom, the child clings to the mom, doesn't want to separate from the mom. It's a similar context. The person really clings to that adult figure and really doesn't want to leave. If that's threatened at all, it might view the person as harsh, as being ugly, as being not nice, and themselves, they view themselves as not being nice and being ugly or feeling not well about themselves. They view themselves as feeling bad. So the reward system is they feel good, but the withdrawing system they feel bad. And if they feel bad in that category and they do not get the attention they seek, they feel that the anger are there, the anger of their attempt to separate is to individuate into their own person, but I feel frustrated and angry for them to do that. How can you let me go and be my own person? I want to cling, I want to rather withhold and hold that person. Suddenly you want me to be my own person. That does not sit well with a person with abandonment fears. They want to cling, they would rather want to hold and be passive. Suddenly you want to separate them and they want to be their own person because it's just too hard to uphold a person with constantly looking after them to the extent they want them to be. So they get angry and then they feel bad about themselves. They feel homicidal, they feel suicidal, they feel panicky, they feel rage, they feel angry, they feel hopeless, they feel helpless. And because they feel that, you make them feel that. And as you make them feel that, you will get the brunt of it as well. They can attack you harshly in a way, emotionally, I mean, not just physically. So you can also feel bad as the way they feel bad because you make them feel bad. And that is the complexity of it. And the question is, what does one do with this? Constantly splitting into reward, withdrawn, withdrawn all the time. If they feel withdrawn, they feel the abandonment depression. So they feel really depressed at that stage. They feel abandoned by the person that loved them because they're not being adored the way they should be. And they become depressed and panicky and high anxiety. And that makes them crazy in the sense that they don't feel they have control anymore. They feel insecure in the relationship where they felt secure. And if they feel insecure, they want control and more control. And that is not possible. The more control they have, the more harder it gets to uphold the relationship because the other person at the other end will want to withdraw eventually because the control becomes too much. So they accidentally create their own rejection and they create their own abandonment. And that is hard for them to see. So I'm giving you this in a nutshell, just as a brief indication. And please follow me as I will continually in my sessions go much more deeper into this analytically, as it's not so straightforward as it sounds. The only solution to this is actually thinking applications and thinking styles, because if they believe very strongly that they are being withdrawn and being separated, they believe that they make their own mind up on the reasons why you're withdrawn from them, which might not be accurately at all. It can be in their own jumping to conclusions and their own perceptions. They need to have a booklet, they need to have a guidance of to say, if this is the case, if he doesn't answer the phone, it doesn't mean that he's not interested in me. It might actually mean he's busy in another discussion or another conversation. So it might make sense why he's not answering the phone as a case in point, as an example. It sounds simple, but stuff like that can drive a person with abandonment fears crazy. And that's why you need to have better balanced thinking applications to say what could possibly else be a reason why this is not abandonment but something else, just to help regulate your emotional state and to help make you a more logical decision. I hope this helps a lot to explain a little bit abandonment structure and abandonment fears. And please watch my YouTube channel for further detail on where I will discuss much more in detail the structure and the dynamic of it and the defense mechanisms behind all of this. How does a person with abandonment depression defend themselves against depression and abandonment? And that actually causes depression and anxiety uh, rather than a resolution to it, but rather sustaining it more. I hope you enjoyed this short discussion on abandonment, and I hope to see you soon. I hope you have a good day. Good cheers. Bye bye.